Peace, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all week is going fine. Why? Because you can't change the past, but you can change the future. So today's video, quick, short, straight to the point, how to change your oil in your car, truck, motorcycle, whatever you got. So the following items you're gonna need. You're gonna need a 1/2-inch breaker bar or a 3/8 breaker bar. If you haven't changed it in a while, the bolt that the oil runs out, it's gonna be kind of tight. So you want to use this to break it. Now, once you break it, you want to use a 1/2-inch socket and the ratchet to actually take that bolt all the way out. If you ever try to turn one of these underneath the car, you don't have very much room. You're gonna have a hard time trying to spin that all the way around. So you're gonna break it with this. Then you're gonna use this, the ratchet and the socket, whatever size you need. We're using a 17mm on this particular vehicle. All right, so the next thing you're gonna need is a funnel. You can get one of these, Dollar General or wherever you're at, $1, $2 or whatever. You're gonna need your oil filter. You're gonna need your oil. And you're gonna need something to catch your old oil in. When you take your screw out, you wanna have something that's at least about 5 gallons, maybe 2 to 3 gallons, because even though you're putting like 5 or 6 gallons back into it, but once you actually start draining it, it's not gonna be 5 or 6 gallons coming out. You may get like 2 to 3. And to protect your back, you want to have this this little crawler. You got wheels on it. You can just roll underneath it. You're not just rolling on the ground on your back. Oh yeah, also too, for safety, we got the car on jack stands. Not jack stands. We got the car on ramps. So that way you don't have to be under there trying to with your jack and the jack fall or jack mess up. You know. One thing we got too, we got the emergency brake pull. So we got the car on ramps and we got the emergency brake pull. So you got the emergency brake pull, the car will not roll back, because when you pull the emergency brake, it locks the rear wheels up. So you want to have the emergency brake up so the car does not roll back on top of you. Get down there with it. Get over here so you can see that bolt. You want to turn that bolt just slow, because you want to be able to catch it so it doesn't fall in the pail. Then you want to move your bucket back just a little bit more, because it's gonna run out that way with a lot of force. It's almost there. So now you want to catch it. There you go. So you want to hold that bolt so it doesn't fall in that oil. All right, so now what you want to do is let that drain out, and the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take that fuel filter off. Hold on one second. I gotta reposition this. Okay, so move the bucket up, because he has the oil starting to lose the pressure. You wanna move that bucket with the oil. Okay, go ahead, start undoing your filter. Just a little bit. So now what you're gonna do after that, you can kind of feel it where it's getting on the last thread. So you're gonna wanna, okay, that's good. So we're gonna let that oil just drain just a little bit. Then we're gonna put that screw back in because we're gonna have to use that same bucket to drop that oil filter into. We're gonna let it drain out just a little bit. So that hole right there is where you need to break it. You need to put your breaker bar and break it right there. That's the hole. That's a screw hole that holds the oil. Go ahead and put your screw back in. Okay, now take your bucket and put it right underneath it. My bad, sorry. Take your bucket, put it right underneath the oil filter. There you go. Okay. Now what you want to do is go ahead and get your new filter. You want to screw that bad boy on there. Hold on one second. Get a bit closer up so you can see you screwing it on there. You know what? I need to come over that way. I can't get it. Okay, there you go. So now we're gonna screw the oil filter on. You want to get it pretty tight as you can with your hand. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we want to go ahead and get the socket, and we're gonna tighten the the bolt back up. Yeah, that should be good. You don't want to over tighten it. You don't want to strip it. All right. So now we're gonna put the oil back in it. Hold on one second. Get this set back off. Okay. So now we're gonna use the funnel. Let's put the oil back in it. Did you think there's gonna be more steps to this?
Yeah.
That there's gonna be more?
Yeah, it's simple. Use all of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Go ahead, put it back on. All right, so now what you want to do, you don't want to crank it back up while it's on the jack stands, because so now what you want to do now, you don't want to crank it back up and drive it back down. What you want to do, you want to let it roll back down, because the oil, you just changed the oil, and so there's no oil in the engine right now. The only oil that's in the engine is what you just put in. So, and especially the engine is at an incline right now, so a lot of that oil has dripped back down into the to the oil pan. So you don't want to crank it up. You want to crank it up when it's on level ground. That way you have less risk of starving the engine of oil. Now you may not hurt it. You know, this is just good general practice. So I wanted to just show y'all this video on how to quickly change your oil. You see, this took less than 10 to 15 minutes. So you get good at this, you can do this really quick. You know, it doesn't take a long time. I know if you go to any of these big box stores or places that change your oil, sometimes they don't even change the oil right. You know, I heard a lot of horror stories where they people go in and get their oil changed out and they leave and they don't even put oil in the car. And so now they got a messed up engine. So for all you who like to try and do it yourself, you know, who tired of going up there and getting ripped off, and you know, you kind of figure, man, I can do this myself. Why not give it a try? You know, you don't have to have a lot of tools for this. Just, you know, a few simple around the house tools. You know, so if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe, like it. You know, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what other videos you want to see. We'll see you next time. You can't change the past, but you can change the future. Peace.